Hey, everyone is wrong about why Iron Lung is so successful.
It smells like bitch in there.
I wanted to make a video to follow up on my last Iron Lung Markiplier one because I kept seeing this interesting pattern emerge, not just from media outlets, but also in my own comment section. There seems to be this idea that Markiplier's movie only really succeeded because he has 38 million subscribers. It's at least the prevailing narrative around Hollywood circles, and you can kind of see that's the case by how access media outlets are reporting about it right now. IndieWire, with 38 million fans and a decade-plus runway, this model is no one's idea of plug-and-play. Variety, his loyal viewers turned out in bulk for a self-financed movie with a marketing outlay of precisely zilch. The Verge, online success, has now reached a point where it can disrupt even the most established institutions like Hollywood. Deadline, when it came to Iron Lung's marketing push, it was an Instagram post, a trailer to Markiplier's 74 million fans per Relish Mix, and it was one and done, a power that many major motion studios can't wield with their machines on. Yes, being based on a cult indie video game helps. Every one of them was like, well, he's got a lot of fans. Now, did it help to have that many fans? Absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that having a preloaded fan base of millions doesn't help the register ring. But if all it took was to have millions of followers online, then every single major Hollywood release and every album released by a mainstream artist would find immediate success. And that's just not the case. I mean, look at all these films that bombed or hardly made even, despite the fact that they had star power with millions of online followers. Jared Leto has over 11 million followers. Tron Ares? Bomb. Tom Cruise has around 15 million followers. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning? Financial loss. Chris Pratt, 44.2 million followers. Mercy? Box office fail. Sorry, bro. Still the best, Chris. And by the way, those are follower counts on Instagram only, meaning they probably have a lot more from platform to platform, so the movie's success is not contingent on follower count online. Markiplier's subs are many, but to say that people clicking a button on a screen is the reason his film earned... What are we at now? Almost 40 million? Bitch! To say that his subscriber count is the reason that his film has made almost $40 million as of right now is like saying it rains because it does. Do you want to know the real reason why Iron Lung was a knockout of the park? I'm going to introduce a concept that the industry may or may not know about. It's called trust. And there are layers of trust that just so happen to make this movie a success. Like a tasty trust lasagna. The first layer comes from the subscriber base who know Markiplier and love him. Like I said, the loyal fan base didn't hurt. I don't want to discount that. But the second layer of trust comes from the fact that Markiplier loves the Iron Lung video game, the source material his movie is based on. He talked about it extensively on his channel, and he's played the game in front of his audience multiple times. The game was clearly inspiring to the guy.
This right here is my favorite thing ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
So, when he said he was going to make a movie about it, not one of his fans had a doubt in their mind that this was going to be a faithful adaptation. And this is the linchpin around which every bit of this success revolves. Not the audience, Markiplier's love of the game and his willingness to adapt it in good faith. And the fact that Markiplier got the creator of the Iron Lung game, David Szymanski, to help write the movie only deepened the trust that Markiplier was doing something special. And he did. Markiplier made a really solid film. And this is where Markiplier's audience comes back into play. Not only did they get out there and see it because they love him, they advocated for it because the product was good. But all of this would have fallen apart, including the audience's support, if Markiplier didn't first love and respect the source material. And that is the next layer in our trust lasagna, the trust that the hype wasn't just hype. Markiplier and Iron Lung fans could have just gone out to see the movie and that's as far as it would have gone. But fans brought non-fans under the promise that this was actually a solid film. And sure enough, these non-fans came out of the film singing its praises. Then those normies talk to those normies who trust them about seeing the film. They go out and watch it, and the money just keeps pouring in. And now we've unlocked a new layer of the trust lasagna, The trust of making profits. Markiplier's fans go to their local theater and say, hey, there's a movie making the rounds called Iron Lung. We would like you to play it here so we can see it too. Now, if Iron Lung was making no money and it was generating no hype, then the theater probably would have laughed in their faces and it would have been understandable. Hollywood is struggling nowadays and theaters need to keep the lights on, so they aren't going to sacrifice a screen to play some art house film with a niche audience when a higher percentage choice exists. But Iron Lung was bringing all the boys to the yard. The money was there. So they said, yeah, sure, let's play it. And boom, the trust lasagna gets thicker.
I gotta look at this myself. Wow. What a view.
The trust begets trust, and soon Markiplier has this massive success on his hands built from nothing but grassroots advertising and a film made with so much passion. Iron Lung was a success because we all ate a piece of the trust lasagna. I really like saying lasagna. I get why PewDiePie made that music video now. Bitch, lasagna, bitch, lasagna. And I want to add this. Markiplier had an uphill battle, not just because he was releasing this independently and he had the marketing budget that allowed for an Instagram post, but he also had to battle the expectations set by Hollywood for video game adaptations. Hollywood's video game adaptations have ranged from okay to absolutely horrendous, and whenever it's announced that someone is making a movie based on a video game, people immediately tune out.
You're alive. Too bad you will die.
When Markiplier said, I made a movie about a video game, I'm pretty sure that there were even some inside his fan base that were like, I'll wait for it to come out on streaming and get around to it eventually. So Markiplier had to overcome that hurdle, and not only did he jump it, he flew over it like a beautiful bird, covered in blood. Hollywood is famously unconcerned with staying true to the source material or what fandoms expect or want. And I always found this to be a huge mistake. I mean, I get that there have to be some changes sometimes to make an adaptation, like, how are you going to adapt Dune to a full-length film without making at least some changes? The Lord of the Rings, it's arguably the greatest movie trilogy of all time, and Peter Jackson couldn't even make a one-to-one of Tolkien's work. But I mean, Star Trek, Star Wars, The Rings of Power, all of these properties had fan bases that knew the lore forward and backward. They could school the creators about any part of the universe right off the top of their heads, and they just gave fans the finger. Or accused them of sexism and racism. I mean, I feel like the Orville is better Star Trek than Star Trek at this juncture.
I think I swallowed my comm badge.
Already.
500 cigarettes.
And all of this especially went for video game adaptations. Hollywood did not care about the fan base or even the game. In fact, Uwe Boll, who's responsible for the horrendous House of the Dead movie, the Blood Rain trilogy, and Far Cry adaptations, would make these terrible game adaptations, then he would literally fight critics of his movies. These films were made literally as tax write-offs for the studio, so they were all about the fact that these movies were awful. I'm gonna get a knock on the door from some angry German dude wanting to fight me now. The things that I do for you people.
500 cigarettes.
Markiplier actually did care about the fans. He cared about the game, and thus, he cared about the movie. And that is what formed the foundation for Iron Lung's success. Not just the fans, not 38 million subscribers, but his respect for all of it. The fans were a big help, sure, but no fan base in the world is going to save your movie from financial ruin if it sucks.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way.
Markiplier first had to create something worth getting behind. He had to. He doesn't have the bottomless Scrooge McDuck vaults of cash that companies like Disney do. Netflix, Apple, Amazon, Disney, all of these companies have deep enough pockets that they don't have to care if you like it or not. They can do what they want, and if they fail, they'll just shrug it off and move on. But creators like Markiplier and other independents like him don't have that luxury. They have to put their heart and soul into this if they're going to succeed at all. And what's great is that success for creators on the ground level doesn't necessarily just look like monetary victory. Success is creating a great film that people, especially the fans, really enjoyed. Because he created something his fans could believe in, and by extension, normies could enjoy too, he created a phenomenon that I'm pretty sure is going to end up changing how Hollywood functions forever. Oh, I saw the movie myself, and here's my review. It's worth paying the price of a ticket for, and also a large popcorn, a slushie, and maybe some goobers. I don't say that about many movies nowadays, so that's a large compliment. Markiplier, you'll never see this, bud, but congratulations on your success. You deserve every bit of it.
Firmed beautifully. Oh!